Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Over the course of about the past week or so, we've seen several new updates and previews for some upcoming gameplay updates here in Battlefield 6, directed at a handful of different mechanics. We're talking vehicles, a little bit of movement, various things of that nature. So we've got quite a bit of gameplay details and gameplay updates to go through and break down here today. Starting first with this report from Battlefield Bulletin, sort of recapping and highlighting the main excerpts from an interview that took place with PC Gamer a few days back, saying that DICE is planning to do a Battlefield Labs test basically just dedicated to improving vehicles. Vehicles this year have felt very lackluster in a lot of ways. There are some very powerful mechanics with some of them in certain situations, but in general, there just hasn't been a ton of positive feedback about vehicles, especially, when you go and you search social media, there's not a lot of positive things being taken away. So they don't want these to be death traps like they currently are. That's how DICE describes them, basically. They're just not good enough, such as the light ground transport just being largely underwhelming. So the full quote here says, "I'm going to take the light vehicle feedback with me to the team from you today," DICE hardware producer Kit Ekloff, hopefully I'm saying that right, told PC Gamer. "But I also want to promote that there is a Battlefield Labs test coming up where we're going to do some testing for some vehicle improvements around this issue, specifically because we've heard the feedback that vehicles are death traps. We're going to try and package a bunch of vehicle improvements on Labs very soon, so keep an eye out for that." So basically, we're going to have a whole Labs update that is just the start of the testing, bear in mind, to overhaul the vehicles and make them more maneuverable, make them more responsive, make them feel better in general, and have a better balance in gameplay here, so they're not just something you use to quickly get to point A to point B, and the second you see an enemy, you're like, okay, I'm out of here because I know this thing's getting blown up, or I know we're getting taken out here. You immediately jump out, right? So that's going to be a major update coming here, and like I said, they're starting this off in Labs, so it'll get its initial testing there, and then they're probably going to tweak even more based on the feedback that they get out of the Labs tests there. So we're going to have an even more significant update coming once it reaches the full game. This could be later on in season 2 as a part of like phase 2 or phase 3. We're not really sure too much on the timing here, but certainly something to monitor. And as with everything that we're talking about here today, as they do go through and preview a bunch of different updates, it's possible we see more announcements and more blogs and posts put out about these changes, about other updates as well here in the coming days and weeks. So if you want to stay up to date with absolutely everything going on in the world of Battlefield, there's no better place than right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you enjoy the details and all the infos we're going through it all, a like rating is seriously appreciated as well. It's a great way to help grow the channel and share the video around to help inform other players as well. Now, next up here, we did get an official update, like a hard confirmation basically, around further compensation for missing out on rewards here in Battlefield 6. This dates all the way back to launch, where there were outages on the EA app the day that Battlefield 6 launched, and players were supposed to get compensated for their time missed out there. That took forever to roll around and actually get fully solved. Season 2 Battle Pass content was missing for players, and there was a bunch of outages going on there. So Battlefield's global community manager says if you have not received any kind of compensation yet, then basically you're not eligible to receive any further compensation. There was like a little back and forth here in the Battlefield 6 Discord where the community manager went through and explains they've gone through, they've basically compensated all those accounts that were flags for anything being missed out here. So if you're someone who was missing some stuff there, you were affected by the outages and whatnot, and you feel like you were supposed to get compensation, if you haven't yet, they don't have you flagged as someone who was, under the correct criteria to get the rewards there. They say, all I can tell you is that items have been rolled out. There was a delay rollout of some of the XP boosters, which took several weeks to fix. But if you have not received anything for season 2, you were not eligible for that item. So as far as compensation goes, this is basically them saying they've done all the compensation they plan on doing, which is good news if you've got the compensation, and not really good news at all if you thought you were going to get it. We also get a new update here on movement and potentially how the devs are looking at this, because obviously with the season 2 update, they did change around movement a decent bit. This person ends up asking Florian here, who we talk about a lot here on the channel. Florian's always going through and responding and detailing updates on Twitter, which is seriously appreciated. Is there a possibility to get some insights on the movement changes? With the most recent patch, the ability to air strafe was effectively removed. You're kind of like hard locked in the direction that you are jumping in, so you can't sort of alter that in any way now. That's got a lot of people like really changing up the way they're playing because they were so used to the mechanics before the update. This was removed and I couldn't spot this in the patch notes. Is DICE monitoring this, or is it something that was done and dusted, like that's intended, that's it? Florian does say, we're absolutely monitoring this feedback. For now, we're giving the changes some time to settle, but we're keeping a good eye on this specifically. So what this means is they've made this change. They want to see how players react to it. It's obviously very jarring at first because we were used to being able to air strafe for the last little bit. Now everyone sort of got that muscle memory like set up, and that's how they were playing with the jumping movement and everything, and every time they were trying to air strafe. The jarring change to see that removed, and now you're hard stuck in that direction. You're jumping basically without any course correction. But as people get more familiar with it, as people get comfortable with it, does that actually benefit the player? That's what they're sitting here monitoring now. And if they continue to see a lot of negative feedback around it, well, then it's very likely that they'll go through and they'll probably reverse some of those things that they ended up changing there. Another new update that we've got confirmed. This person tweeted at Florian saying, hey, a bug appeared following the season 2 update. There's a disappearance of scopes and weapons after a respawn and immediate weapon switch, or if you get killed during a weapon switch, and they provided a video of that. And Florian does say, this is well known. We're in the process of fixing that. In the meantime, if it happens to you, you can change your video settings and increase the quality. It's not a fix, obviously, but at least you don't have to leave the game. So you can sort of quick fix this for the time being. However, this is a full fix. It's going to be coming here where your weapons and your scopes should not be disappearing upon respawn, upon death, if you're caught in one of those weird situations. So they are fully aware of this one, and there is a full update coming for it. So definitely good news there. And then lastly here, we actually saw this new update roll out just a few days back, which is hopefully the start of more and more Portal quality of life updates. So there's more community experiences that really can be taken advantage of and things of that nature. They've said they really want to focus on Portal a lot more going forward, and this I think is certainly a step in the right direction. They say a new Portal update is rolling out, lower player counts to start verified conquest, breakthrough, and rush servers. We're introducing a change that allows verified conquest, breakthrough, and rush experiences to start with just 4 players while still offering full progression. So if you just want to get in a match, maybe you're looking to test some things, you just want to play, you're still going to be able to get full progression here and start with just 4 players active. You don't have to wait and wait and wait there. Lowering the minimum player requirements reduces the barrier to entry for starting a match and makes it easier for players to get games up and running. This update is designed to make it easier to kick off more casual servers, better for supporting community-driven play, enables a single squad to spin up a server, and expands PvE-friendly play opportunities. Experienced creators will need to resave their experiences, so if you already have something live, you'll just have to resave it with this update. As with all gameplay changes, we'll continue to monitor this going forward for overall server health following this update. So basically, it's easier to go through and get a full Portal server running for Conquest, Breakthrough, and Rush servers, of course, with just 4 players being the minimum requirement now. Then, you know, obviously if that server fills up with more real players, that's great. But if you're just simply looking to get in and looking to play, because you can set up for certain, you know, modes and maps here, you can quickly do this if you're okay with playing against bots and still have full progression available there. So certainly good news. And like I said, hopefully a step in the right direction for more, I guess, fluid Portal updates as time goes on, not just with, you know, the seasonal updates and the phases, but this kind of just dropped completely out of the blue just the other day. So that being said, that is everything that ended up changing in the past few updates for Battlefield 6, and then also some things to look out for here in the next few updates as well. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you can always guarantee you're in the know for absolutely everything going on in the world of Battlefield. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.